Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Harachakwadash, the honor spent to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, hopeful, like that Prishnat, this word of all truth and sincerity. To all you, I can say Shalom. Andy Aki and I coming in with a quick lesson I'm entitled The Only 99.9% Cleaning Solution That Can Cleanse the Earth Are the ICBMs, Intercontinental Ballistic Missiles. And delving into the lesson, you always got these heathen organizations being set up to combat the microplastics being dumped in on the earth, as well as how they willingly, dump toxic waste into the water, as well as pollute your terra and your air. How they even pollute the atmosphere that, with all the debris that they be leaving behind with these previous space missions, as well as their constant rocket launches that you have from organizations like SpaceX. Not only that, but I also saw a post going into how Starlink satellites are now about 3,000. So they basically cover up the whole globe, up in the atmosphere. So, this place is basically tainted, sick, defiled, all right, and the earth is basically polluted. Not only that, not only with physical pollution, but you also got, this westernized, ideology. Ultimately, these countries are trying to, go against this country, but for a time, it's been heavily glorified. Their ways of thinking, their philosophies, their ideologies, that you even got a lot of the heathen in all those other countries that, they retain and they apply the same Western mentality into their own living. All right, now you got Moabites and Ammonites and whatnot. They be busting it down and whatnot. They be showing too much skin. They be acting like American women, or so-called women, because they ain't really women. Women mean servant, and that's what that isn't what they are. But another example would be how you could be independent as a woman, and you don't need a man, and this and that and a third. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you. The Lord ain't gonna touch you. God doesn't exist. Atheism is true, and Big Bang Theory that, and blah blah blah. All these false ways of thinking which promote death. They're not profitable unto your spirit. All these ways of thinking, they condemn what we preach. They condemn this truth. So that's also a form of pollution, And with those false ways of thinking, you start to do wickedness. You transgress the law, and you do all types of manner of evil, which ain't pleasing to the Lord. Now you're an abomination. Now you're disgusting, and the Lord won't have you like that. All right, hey, the Lord's gonna get busy with it. So He's gonna do that with that 99.9% cleaning solution, and that is the ICBMs. Because one thing I know about the ICBMs is that they emit a fire, when they're being launched. As the capsule, the missile itself, it's launched by fire, and also when the cone containing the nuclear warheads separates from the capsule itself, the warheads cause a devastating blow. All right, that mushroom cloud you see is nothing other than fire. All right, fire. And every time you go into the prophecies of the missile destruction, it always mentions fire and brimstone. But, I don't mean to ramble too much, but fire is significant for removing impurities, right? Because you can't have a gold bar, you can't have a pure gold bar without removing its impurities. You have to realize it was mined from the earth, and it comes with like a percentage of other metals, and you want to separate the gold from all those other metals. So it could be a pure bar. All right. Same thing with like if I'm mistaken, copper or bronze. Yeah, it was bronze. It's bronze. If I can look it up on the Safari. Bronze is a metal alloy that primarily contains copper and 12% tin. So a lot of metals they contain, a bunch of other elements. Digressing back, fire is basically meant to cleanse away everything, and believe it or not, but the Lord's gonna, do just that, and the earth is gonna be nothing other but a big old oven. All right, a big old oven. That's how hot it's gonna be. Actually, that's in the book of Malachi, the 4th chapter, verse 1. And you had certain instances, certain incidents consisting of, little infants, primarily Eve as an infant getting put in a microwave or an oven and getting baked alive. All right, because the perpetrator always be putting the timer at a high number. Ultimately, that's judgment though, but that's an example. So hey, those ovens are hot, man. You get radiated there, and you get cooked up. That's how the earth is gonna be, but on a global scale, by way of the ICBMs. So Malachi the 4th chapter, verse 1: For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all that do proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And who are the proud first and foremost? These Edomites, man. And, underneath them, the rest of you heathen, as well as you 2/3 out there. And because what you guys are in that prideful state that you can do whatever you want and nothing bad will happen to you. That YOLO spirit is your excuse. So you guys, all do wickedly. You guys don't consider what the law says about the reincarnation and, to do good. All right, you guys believe in one life, one shot, one opportunity. Guess what that's saying about, you're in your teenage years. You gotta enjoy it. And that means go out, party, have fun, go fuck and drink and smoke and blah blah blah. That drive high speed and crash, possibly kill some. No. All right, that's all leads to consequences. That is morally wrong. That is wicked. That's what that word means. That's what that word wicked means. That's what that word wicked means. Morally wrong. And that's exactly what the ideas, these bug-outs conceptualize, promote. So, yeah, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. And you go into the Hebrew word for that word branch, and the outline of biblical usage just stands for a child, son, daughter. So the Lord will cut these family trees off, these lineages, these pedigrees, these clans, these names, these houses. The Lord will cut all that off, leaving neither, what's it called, you, nor your descendants, no generation shall survive, American soil, except for the elect, for they will get preserved and delivered on the chariots. That's why in verse 2 it says, But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. All right, the Lord's gonna, Yahweh Shai's gonna come down here with his chariots and, beam his elect up. So, anyways, going on to Isaiah the 24th chapter, that's the main point I wanted to bring out. In verse 4, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. Yeah, the earth mourns and is fading away because she's in a sickened state. But wasn't she supposed to be a beautiful, fruitful, lively place? Come on, Khan. That's how the Lord created her to be a paradise of man, the joy of man. That's why you look into that word Eden, which is Hebrew for, or which is English for the Hebrew word Adon. It meant paradise. It ain't no paradise right now. It's nothing but tainted, death. All right, that's why you got a lot of people out here. They all they think about is suicidal thoughts, and you look at it as a spiritual aspect. And this is us speaking. The man of the Lord always, go into that. And the Apostle Paul even, promoted it. That would be better, man. The heavens is beautiful. I'm not putting words in the Apostle Paul's mouth, but he made a mention how the heavens are beautiful, man. All right, it's a glorious place. You look at it as a spiritual aspect, that would be better because when you get small on this side, your spirit transfers over to the spirit world, and now you're at peace, man. Now you're lucky, which lucky is not a good choice of words, but now you're in a better position than most of us. Hell, we choose that position if we could, but we can't. All right, we're not in control of ourselves, so there's no free will. The Lord's in control of all things, man. But yeah, hey, this earth ain't no paradise anymore. She's nothing but a dying planet. She's in the sixth state. Hey, you had that movie Avatar from back in 2009. You had I believe it was Jake Sully was his name, and he even made the mention when he was speaking to I forget that one goddess, Awa. Yeah, he even told Awa, how humans, they killed their mother. They killed the planet Earth. Taking all the resources and polluting it with plastics and whatnot. So that's what Esau been doing. That's what the heathen be doing because they're bad at rulership. They're not supposed to be in rulership. Only the elect, or really the nation of Israel, starting off with the elect are. That's when the book is said, right, the 10th chapter. All right, it makes the mention how, in verse 4, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right, one that is profitable, and that is Yahushua. When he establishes the kingdom in righteousness and in order, everything will be beautiful, everything will be nice, everything will be great and glorious, everything will be clean. All right, what the world considers trending, these trending topics and whatnot, they'll all be righteous in the kingdom. There'll be no, what's it called? Eating Tide Pod challenges. No. The only challenges you probably, speaking as a man here, we can't fathom the kingdom. We could imagine we can't fathom it. Just speaking as a man right here, a challenge could be in the kingdom like, all right, I challenge you to read the whole book, read the whole roll front to back within a set timer, things like that. Or, I challenge you to make a whole garden and make it grow. I don't know, just speaking as a man there. Those would be like righteous. Those would be trending topics, but in a righteous manner. Instead of, eating Tide Pods and driving on that fast lane and while you're under the influence, intoxicated, and possibly killing everybody. But anyways, digressing back. Isaiah the 24th chapter, verse 5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Yeah, so this place is defiled, man. All right, she's in a sickened state. Yeah, all the synthetic and artificial creation Esau be creating. Or yeah, Ishmael with their man-made islands off the coast. The man-made islands. It ain't the Lord. And when you look into the science behind how they make these various things, like an artificial womb, which Esau done created, it vexes you, man. Because they had transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, Now you got the Transformer community. And, I always stress it out. Back in the 80s, America was talking about how they would go off biblical ordinances. Nah. Now it's about gay marriages and whatnot. That pisses you off. But see, that goes to show you that Esau's corrupt. He's not a righteous man. He's a wicked man. That's why Malachi, the first chapter, verse 4, made the mention how he's a board of wickedness. And he's only there to deceive. Like in Psalms, the 55th chapter, if I'm mistaken, that's what it was. It went into how it was, words were smoother than butter. And there's other precepts like that. All he does is speak deceit. He's sly, he's cunning, he's subtle. He says all these things. But in the end, he can't hold accountability. That makes him a terrible fool. And that's why we can't wait and enslave you crackers, man. We cannot wait and enslave you crackers. All right. And sure, we're going with the game about you not being accountable. Hey, but it'll just make it worse if you're in that mindset that you're not accountable, because you have to live an unjust lifetime being in shackles on all fours under us. Why do I deserve this? Well, deep down you do know, but you're trying to play the victim here. Why do I deserve this? Well, because you're a fucking cracker. But anyways, digressing back to verse 5, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. All right, see, now that's a future prophecy. See, the way what the scriptures goes is that they're not going to be about a topic is going into future tense, another chapter is going into past tense, and one chapter and one topic is going present tense. No. All right, the scriptures switch it up. See, this is a stumbling block to many. And that's why only the elect can receive these things. So you could have a chapter, some precepts going into the present. The next thing you read a precept that's going back into the ancient world. The next precept after that is talking about future prophecy. All right, so from verse 4 and 5, that's past and present tense, but verse 6 is future tense. Referring to prophecy, because ain't the earth been devoured yet? Hey, sure, you had Sarbamba and Nagasaki / Hiroshima. You had these various detonations throughout the earth, like in the ocean and whatnot. Hey, but the earth hasn't been devoured as a whole yet. All right, when was the last time the whole earth was reeling to and fro like a drunkard after one missile launched and hit? Never, because that hasn't happened yet. All right, there's no historical account going into that. But see, this biblical account is going to the future prophecy, which will happen by way of World War III. And Slovakia for my speech impediment, which is caused by my cough. When you really want to cough, but you're trying to subdue it, to get your words right. So Slovakia about that again. Lord doesn't really interfere with the lesson, and Lord will, the sickness goes away as well as the sickness of the Hakim. But yet be mentioned, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Yet because 2/3 out of all nations shall be smote. Yet even 2/3 of all nations, because there will be an elect of the nation of Israel, as it's been prophesied. But likewise for the other heathen nations, because the Lord ain't going to bring them all back out of thin air. No, it'll all be in a continuation. Continuation from the remnants left behind. All right, that's why whenever the heathen speak to them, saying, "What should I do to survive the ICBMs?" Don't go to a bunker. You always have the make the mention. Now at least go up to a mountain, a secluded mountain, and Lord will, your best bet, the missile won't touch that mountain, and you survive. The scriptures even go into that, how with that precept about wormwood, but the waters were contaminated with nuclear waste. But that wasn't going to Chernobyl. the radiated waters, which will happen by with the ICBMs when the survivors, drink the water and they get contaminated and die. It ain't talking about Chernobyl, it's talking about the missiles. But that right there, even makes the mention now there'd be survivors. It ain't talking about the elect, because the elect ain't gonna die. They're already even gonna be transformed into the spiritual bodies, which will be indestructible. But going on, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Verse 1, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And although, the Lord speaking speaking to Ezra back then, on behalf of that account, we're being spoken to likewise, as we're witnesses to this testimony right here. So behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. So this verse is really applying to us as well. We're supposed to speak into the ears of the people the words of prophecy. And the Lord did put this word, in our mouth to speak it unto them. All right? And you ever, there'd be times where the Spirit ain't on you and you really can't, teach. You're like a mute. You're like a dumb person. But it ain't until that Spirit's upon you that now you're killing it, and now you're breaking bread. Now you're on fire. Now you're spewing. Now you're spitting out all that knowledge. You dropping it all because the Spirit's on you. Right? So going on, verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, which is a fulfillment of prophecy, as we have the Bible now. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, which that word incredulity means disbelief. And that's the mindset these people have. All right, they think nothing will touch them, nothing will happen. God's love, God's good, and blah, 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 that, he's a passive power. The Bible's about sharing is caring and hugging each other and loving each other and playing with each other and high-fiving with each other and forgiving each other. No, fuck no. Fuck no. The scriptures are they're a nightmare, man. Or even to us. Although we understand the scripture sent for us as a comforter, we understand the promises are coming. Yet when we read these various accounts, we're freaking vexed, man. Hey, there'd be times where we just can't even sleep at night because we're thinking about the ICBMs. Imagine that it happens, it goes down. How would you feel? How would you react? See, so we have these various ways of thinking as well. We go through the same thoughts and the same temptations. The scriptures say there is no temptation but such as common to man. See, so we even go through these terrible states when it comes to the scriptures. But digressing back to verse 3, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Thus saith the Lord. Anyways, verse 5, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Ding, ding, ding. Those prophecies have been coming to pass since 2020. All right, which was denoted as the year of prophecy. Yeah, all these plagues, went upon the world. Ended up being the sword. All right, sword being the ancient terminology for the word weapon. And a lot of people dropping with the weapon. A lot of famine going on. Tons of locusts eating up the crops from area to area, country to country. A lot of death happening, a lot of destruction. And really, that destruction is also future prophecy, because although you have these wildfires and whatnot, these various areas getting literally destroyed, destruction could also refer to your ultimate prophecy, which is the ICBM. Now that's the ultimate destruction right there. It'll be worse than the Battle of the Bulge from World War II because, it'll get ugly, you know. But verse 6 was just the point. Verse 6 was just the point. For wickedness hath exceedingly, wickedness. All right, wickedness is a form of pollution. Hath exceedingly polluted. All right, the key word right there is polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore say the Lord, and you could read on down. Went to the Lord, about the Avengers elect and punish this place. But that's the point. The Lord's bringing all these judgments, all these plagues, all these prophecies, because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled because everything has, nigh been accomplished. Nigh on, not yet, not fully. Nigh on, meaning almost. We're at the forefront of this thing. But next piece that I want to get out would be in the book of Isaiah, the 54th chapter. I did make the mention of destruction and applied it to the ICBMs. So Isaiah, the 54th chapter, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. Yeah, that smith being the modern day scientists. All right, which that word smith is short for blacksmith. Back in the ancient world, the blacksmith will be the one to produce weapons. All right, they smelt your steel and flatten it out, beat it down in the anvil, and make it into a sword. All right, they would also make your bows and arrows. All right, if I'm mistaken, I believe it was so. But what's it called? In this case, referring to your modern day. No, so like the blacksmith made shields as well. God, they also made shields. But yeah, the modern definition or the modern word for the smith is a scientist. That bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And an instrument is also another word for weapon. Because when you go into the instrument, you refer to it as an instrument of death. And what does a weapon do? It brings forth death. It's supposed to injure. So, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So that instrument is a waster that destroys. All right, how does this weapon cause wastefulness? And it wastes everything in the surrounding area. That being the ICBMs. And it's going to waste within this radius. And that's where we're gonna have 200 million missiles hit this place, and the whole surface of this country will get literally covered up and become the lake of fire, as you read in Revelation. But I just want to do a quick lesson on that, touching on the subject that the only 99.9% clean solution that could actually cleanse this earth, which it ain't your disinfectant, it ain't your freaking cell block, it ain't your what's it called? Simple Green. It ain't any of these disinfectant solutions. It ain't your Mr. Clean. It ain't your OxyClean. It ain't your Clorox. The only 99.9 clean solution that could actually cleanse the surface of the earth are the ICBMs. Point blank, period. As a matter of fact, the mushroom clouds, they reach high altitudes, so they could literally, smoke all these satellites and basically burn up everything, all the debris in the atmosphere, caught up in the atmosphere, which we can't see, but it's up there. All right, you even have a good, portrayal in the movie WALL-E, when you have WALL-E escape the Earth, and you see all that debris left behind from the previous missions on the atmosphere. So best believe that mushroom cloud is gonna be so hot, it's gonna literally burn everything and melt it, and basically, vaporize it. It says in the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, verse 10. All right, a fervent heat which shall melt all the elements. With that being said, this was edifying. To the next one, I say shalom.